Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our action here on Track 1 for the championship day of 2016 Mayhem Tournament. I am Miss Communication.
And I am Kiki Dickey.
And Kiki Dickey and I are into the jam right now between the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls and Oklahoma Victory Dolls. Right now, your jammer for Sin City is number 999, Despicable Mia. She is jamming against number 50, Tigger Trixie. Right now, Despicable Mia out and ready to score points, but Trixie all the way already through the pack on her first scoring pass and scoring 4 points.
That's a good way to start the game.
It is a great way to start out the game. Right now, Oklahoma Victory Dolls up 4, Sin City 0 with 29 left in the first half. We want to remind you once again that here on Track 1, the announcers do face the jammer line, so it sometimes does take us a little longer to get the jammers for you, but we will get them for you as soon as we can.
Looks like we have number 311, Dislocate, versus number 46, Fatal Inferno. Inferno jamming for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls, and 331, Dislocate jamming for the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls.
Oklahoma in white right now, Sin City in black. We've got a back block being called on D-Lo.
That's going to be a power jam for Oklahoma Victory Dolls. Let's see if Fatal Inferno can maximize getting some points here.
Fatal Inferno right now also in control of the destiny of the jam, and that is 5, count them, 5 power points being put up on their score. She's going to go ahead and come around one more time. We've got, of course, the ladies in white are Oklahoma. Black and orange are the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls All-Stars. She's going to work her way through the pack, and that power jam has ended. D-Lo is out of the penalty box. Oklahoma losing a blocker to that same box. And another 5 points for Fatal Inferno and the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. D-Lo right now still on her initial pass. She's going to go ahead and be free and clear. Dave Vinci is going to tell us she's ready to score points. Fatal goes ahead on the inside and picks up that additional 4 points and calls off the jam. That's a 14-point jam for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. Score now 18-0 over Sin City. With the Oklahoma Victory Dolls presently ranked with the WFTDA at 65th. The fabulous Sin City Roller Girls ranked at 93rd. Right now we're pretty much following to rank in this game.
Looks like we're going to have number 14 jamming T-Pain for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. And it looks like number 473.
475 Molly Tov.
Molly Tov for Sin City Roller Girls.
T-Pain is out and lead. But Molly Tov out and also ready to score. Molly Tov, one of the key jammers, both of these jammers actually, key jammers for their team. We've got 3 for white, 0 for black. We've got 25 minutes here in the first half. Once again, if you're joining us, we've got the Oklahoma Victory Dolls, fabulous Sin City Roller Girls All-Stars. This is the 3rd game in the race for the belt here, our championship bracket. On the line and out, that is number 2120, MSC Hammer, jamming for Oklahoma. And she is jamming against
Despicable Mia.
number 999. Mia right now fighting up at the top of the pack, and Emma C. Hammer finds the inside, 5 points. Right now, it seems Sin City's defense maybe forgetting that kind of, a little discombobulated out there, maybe looking to put together that wall now.
A little panic starts to set in when you lose right away or lose those points.
Another 5 points for Emma C. Hammer. Shark for Oklahoma headed to the penalty box for a 30-second sit as Mia out and ready to score.
That was a good save by Despicable Mia, making sure her skate and or body did not fully come back in bounds prior to calling off the jam. Looks like Sin City is going to line up in front, try to get this defense under control so they can get a couple points up on the board. Right now we're looking at 0 for Sin City and 34 for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls.
We've got 24-23 left in the half.
Got a triangle formation in the back by Oklahoma Victory Dolls with a W or braced formation in the front for Sin City.
We've got Trixie on the line for Oklahoma, number 50, and out and lead for the first time this game. That's Sin City, number 311.
Dislocate. And looks like one of the Oklahoma Victory Dolls are going to be going to the box, joining another blocker. So Oklahoma Victory Dolls will be down 2 blockers to start this jam.
Down 2 blockers, but with 1 blocker standing in the penalty box. That was 2 points for Oklahoma, 0 for Sin City in that last jam. So Trigger Trixie stealing those 2 points.
That's always a good feeling to get some unexpected points. We got both jammers on the line.
Got 2 blockers up at the front for Oklahoma, so that may make it a bit of an easier time. But Fatal Inferno, number 46, is out of the pack, but getting a forearm penalty. That leaves some space for Sin City's jammer.
To pick up lead.
That is number 475, Molly Toff.
She's coming around for her scoring pass as Sin City sets up for a little bit of offense to help her out.
Power points right now for Sin City here as this power jam remains going with Fatal in the box, still seated. She has just been told to stand. We've got 10 seconds. Molly Tough picks up her 4 power points, calls off the jam with the jammer still standing in the box. So we'll have a power start for Sin City in the next jam.
That's a good call off. She was still recycled in the pack. She knew she got all 4 of her points, and she was still able to call it off while icing the opposing jammer in the box. So Sin City knows what they're doing. Their strategy is on point. Let's see if they can bring it together and make it happen for this last half of the second or the first period.
That is number 1776, Bean Jammin' Freakland on the line for Sin City.
This will be her first time jamming, if I'm not mistaken, for Sin City.
We do enjoy calling her Bean. And Bean is out and lead. This power jam has ended with Fatal back in, and Fatal Inferno is out and ready to score. Oklahoma looking to take the lead in the pack. Bean, though, getting knocked to the infield. She goes ahead and calls off the jam. She's going to have 2 points, though. So a total of 6 now for Sin City, 36 for Oklahoma, 21 minutes left in the first half. Sin City looking to kind of, like they like to do. You just destroy a building in Vegas and you build a new one, right?
Exactly.
And Sin City actually destroying the building and building a new house. They're skating with 85% new roster this year.
Wow,
from last year.
That's always difficult.
I have actually watched Sin City work together really well defensively. So whatever they did when they replaced that lineup, they do work together as a cohesive unit that's starting to get put back together against Oklahoma. Jamming right now for Oklahoma, that's number 28, Lethal Lamb. And she is up against number 999, Despicable Mia for Sin City. Mia being knocked to the outfield, recycled to the back, purchases enough time for Lethal Lamb to get out and lead.
And we see that panty coming off, that helmet cover coming off, and trying to attempt a helmet cover pass. Looks like we got a legal. Nope, we're still attempting that helmet pass. As Oklahoma Victory Dolls comes around for another 5 points.
That's 5 points on her first scoring pass. And yes, the star does get passed to number 3, Copper Top Crush. Copper Top Crush, a pivot favorite for Sin City. She's regularly wearing that stripe. 4 points for Lethal Llama, but Sin City manages to steal 2. Apparently that Copper Top, a little bit of energy there.
She is. She's fantastic, and she's an amazingly nice person.
Oh, well.
So she's just it's good to have skaters like that on the track.
8:45 right now. Oklahoma on top. 19:55 left in the first half. That is number 50, Trigger Trixie, on the line for Oklahoma. She wears a red bandana, so I recognize her pretty quickly. And jamming for Sin City and headed to the penalty box. That's number 311, D-Lo. Did you catch my penalty from Da Vinci there, Kiki? No?
I did not.
That's perfectly
I did not.
fine.
I didn't hear the hand or see the hand signal. Oklahoma Victory Dolls coming around for another scoring pass.
Apparently Emma decided to wear one today too.
Oh,
Number 2120, MC Hammer, right now your lead jammer and picking up power points for Oklahoma. D'Lo on her feet in the penalty box. We are going to see 5 power points put up on the board for Oklahoma as Dislocate back in from the box.
Sin City's defense seems to be getting spread apart pretty quickly here, and I think that's how Oklahoma is maximizing getting through all these passes, being able to get in between them and continue pushing forward. They're obviously practicing that, as well as jammer on jammer blocking.
Right, D'Lo out of the penalty box, decides to go ahead and play some blocker, put on the pressure there, forces the call off. But, 10 points in that last jam, 55-8, 18 minutes left in the half. Essentially, Sin City cannot afford to have their jammer go to the penalty box.
Penalties can make and break your game for either side. We're going to have a black timeout.
Team timeout being called for Sin City. We're going to take a look here. Let's take a look at our record coming into today. This is the this is the championship bracket. We are fighting for the belt here, the ability to go on. Oklahoma this weekend, they were Pool 2 number 1. And Sin City Pool 3 number 2, both of them going to tournament seeding standards, making it to championship day. Oklahoma coming away victorious on Friday and also Saturday. Oklahoma right now is 3-0 in the game. They did, though, have a very close win, 133-131 against Winnipeg yesterday, and that's a big rankings yikes for Oklahoma. They're ranking right now 65. They're on the brink of being Division II on June 30th, and that's super close deal there with Winnipeg, who's ranked 95th, I believe, right now.
Right, so they needed to pull out quite a bigger point spread to get those WFTA points or WFTDA points they need
for playoffs
to get
invite.
into playoffs. Yeah.
So right now, with them being ranked 65-93, fabulous Sin City Roller Girls. The Sin City Roller Girls going for a good upset here. That would be fantastic for them.
That would be amazing.
Yes, so hopefully they will be able to get that jammer lineup together and their defense together, and put up some victorious points against Oklahoma. Around the outside, that is number 50, Trigger Trixie, also in a bandana, lead jammer. And Molly Toff going to be sent out to the penalty box. I believe that's a low block. We'll see when Dave comes
Those
around.
Jammer penalties we are talking about that they cannot afford to have right now. You cannot score points if your jammer is not on the floor. I know we're sick of hearing it, but it is the truth.
It is the truth. You would be less sick of hearing it if you kept your jammer out of the box.
It's a thing. We practice those things.
5 points for Trigger. She gets knocked to the infield, but we've got a clockwise block being called on number 3, Copper Top Crush for Sin City. Trigger working her way through the package. She does go ahead and get out. Another.
Looks like the jammer for Oklahoma will be following Trigger or Copper Top to the penalty box to sit down. Trigger Trixie was just about finished, or Molly Tov was just about finished with her penalty. So it looks like the Oklahoma jammer will be sitting for 30 seconds or very close to it. And that's the breaking pass. So it looks like fabulous Sin City Roller Girls is going to be coming up for the scoring pass. Molly Tov needs to make some points here.
Molly Tough with with 35 seconds left in the jam here. We are going to go to the conclusion of the jam. That's 5 power points just at the end of that power jam. Trigger Trixie number 50 out and kind of a little bit ahead of her, headed into the pack. Sin City there in the back. Again, nobody can call off the jam right now. We are just going to go to the natural conclusion.
That was a great offensive hit by a blocker from Sin City. I could not see who it was, maybe 762. Warren Peace. came in and got her jammer 5 points. Unfortunately, Sin City's jammer and blocker will be going to the penalty box.
We did miss that penalty on Molly Tuff. She did have 2 points headed into the box. We had another 5 for Oklahoma, 10-7 in that last jam, 65-15. It's a 50-point gain for Oklahoma over Sin City, 15:56 left in this first half. When we look at ranking percentage points, Sin City needing to hold on to a third of the points in this game, and right now they are just about that. Oklahoma needing to hold on to 59.4% to keep their ranking. We've got an official timeout being called right now. Looks like we're straightening up some points here, Jam Ref on the sidelines talking to his scorekeeper.
I think that's the frustrating part for skaters is figuring out these points that we have. The points on the board don't match the points that you get for ranking. So when we talk about percentages of points, we're looking at the total points and how many points Sin City or Oklahoma needs to bring out of the game to get their correct WFTDA ranking points. Very confusing, but if you love Derby, you have to love that.
You know, it's, yeah, it isn't confusing. I mean, yes, I know there's an algorithm, and that's kind of a scary word. But, you know, once you start kind of working with it, it makes a lot of sense. Much more sense than voting.
Yes.
Number 46, that is Fatal Inferno. She is out and lead. Molly Tov, of course, still caged in the penalty box and seated. Lead jammer for Oklahoma.
Molly Tov is standing now in the penalty box. She still has to make her initial pass, and then she'll be coming up for a scoring pass.
Fatal Inferno putting up 5 power points before the end of that power jam. Molly Tuff now on the track and ready to do her initial pass. Fatal, though, up at the top of the track. She's going to get recycled, though,
that was
to the
amazing
outside.
toe stop footwork on the inside by Molly Tov. Getting past those blockers with ease. She's so tiny. She's sneaking right past them. Oklahoma has got some tall girls on their team.
Oklahoma being forced to call off the jam 4-0 in that pass, 9-0 in that jam, 74-15. And we're just under the 15-minute mark, just under halfway here. This is the first period of the third. We've got a championship runoff bracket going today. So we had 2 games earlier. Now we've got this game and Leeds. Leeds facing off against Northwest Arkansas on track 2 right now.
And it looks like we're going to have T-Pain out in front for lead for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls.
She is number 14, and she is jamming against Bean, number 1776 for the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls. Big hit in the pack there by one of the Sin City blockers, but T-Pain does get by 5 points, being out and ready to score.
She's going to call the jam off, icing out any points being scored by the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls.
Another single point on the board for Oklahoma. 6-point jam, that's 80-15 now, 13 minutes left in the first half.
I believe we are going to start this jam with everyone on the floor.
Excellent. You realize by saying that, someone is likely to get a penalty in the first seconds of the jam.
Well, let's see.
Welcome to the announcer's curse. That's the 5-second call there. Sin City taking the lead up at the pivot line. We've got number, I believe that's 2120.
And
yep,
there's
2120.
the announcer's curse.
Yeah. Emma C. Hammer out there in white and declared lead. She is jamming against number 999, Despicable Mia. We've got some bracing happening there in the pack. Some big hits. This 762 Warren Peace in the center there for Sin City. We've got 5 more points on the board for Oklahoma City. Oh, and we do have a jammer in the penalty box. Despicable Mia serving some time.
Looks like Emma's looking for some offense from her pack, but doesn't really need it. Just gets a good push assist at the front of the pack after breaking through Sin City. Coming up for yet another scoring pass. Let's see if she can make this to 15.
Sin City's pivot headed back to line. Dixie Dash number 521.
That'll be another 5 points.
Despicable Mia going ahead and taking off a star. She approaches the pack off of turn 3 right now.
Searching for her pivot. Despicable Me has got that star off, trying to set up for a pass.
We've got a handoff now to the pivot number 521, Dixie Dash. She's going to try to break out of the pack, but she's getting nudged out of bounds. That's a number 42 Scarbomb out there. And then Scarbomb now making that bridge, but we do have Sin City out and ready to score points. Emma, though, with the pack awareness, 4 points, calls off the jam. Big jam for Oklahoma, 19-0. Oklahoma needing to run away with the scores after that close score against Winnipeg yesterday, 99-15. We've got 11 minutes left in the first half.
That was some good jamming we just saw by the pivot, really not allowing anybody to knock her out of bounds. When she did get close, she used that core strength to pop herself back in and continue pushing till everybody was out of play.
Well, you know, that Skatehouse.net penalty box being a valuable team member for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls here in the first half. Coming out that jammer line, we've got number 311 Dislocate for Sin City. She is skating against a number 50 Trigger.
And it looks like the Oklahoma Victory Dolls, Trigger Trixie, will be going to the box for a cut.
That Skatehouse.net penalty box seeing a lot of jammer on jammer action inside of it. That's the jammer's seat on the jammer's seat. The lead jammer being awarded to Dislocate.
And we have Trigger Trixie still sitting in the HouseOfSkate.net penalty box.
There we go. And yeah, you know, the internet, it's hard.
It's like math and stairs. They're all really hard.
I'm actually fairly good at stairs, Kiki. So we've got the jam being called just as Trigger Trixie was released from the penalty box. 3 points for Sin City. Sin City going on the board now 18-99, less than 10 left in the half. Those are the first points in 4 jams for Sin City. Oklahoma Victory Dolls doing a good job of locking down the points. But Sin City, that's still almost a third. Let me get my calculator out. Calculator.
It's a little under a third, I believe. They need to be getting some more
Right,
out
we're at
here.
16% right now, actually.
That was some nice footwork on the outside by Fatal, picking up lead for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls as the star comes off with the jammer of the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls. Can't quite see her number. She's tucked back in there pretty good. Number 475, Molly Tov.
And Molly is out. Congratulations.
With a star stash.
And 5 points, though, on the board for Oklahoma.
Looks like a Oklahoma Victory Doll will be going to the box for a forearm, starting the next jam with only 3 blockers for the Victory Dolls, 4 for Sin City Roller Girls. Both jammers on the line. Looks like we're going to have Emma on the jam line for the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls.
And that's going to be number 1776, Bean Jammin' Freakland. Good old Bean.
Oh, we have 2 people in orange bandanas. That's right.
Bean wears sports glasses.
Ah, and there you are.
It's very easy to spot her. Oklahoma taking the inside line there on the jammer line. Bean, though, pushing forward. She gets past the pack. Lead jammer Sin City.
That was some good pushing at the front by Sin City. We got the Oklahoma Victory Doll jammer still in the back, breaking now to come around for her scoring pass. That's Lethal Lamb.
Lethal Lamb, number 28.
She is vicious. We got Bean at the front, calling the jam off with not a moment to spare, scoring 3 points to Oklahoma's 0. That's what Sin City really needs to do for the rest of this game. If they can come out on top and they can make their WFTA point, their WFTDA ranking go a lot higher if they were to be able to pull out a win against Oklahoma Victory Dolls.
Definitely 104-21, 7 minutes left in the half. We've got Sin City building a line at that pivot line. What that actually forces is the other team to not be so close to the jammer line, because you have to have them all within 20 feet of one another.
Right. It also helps your jammer can get a little bit of speed before approaching that pack. It's very scary to come to a stopped pack as a jammer with no speed.
That's T-Pain on the line for Oklahoma. She is jamming against number 311 Dislocate. And D'Lo out 2 jams in a row now for Sin City being lead jammer. T-Pain, though, turns on the auto-tune and gets out of the pack.
That was some amazing line work on the outside, staying in bounds by number 311, Dislocate. She calls it off with her 4 points. It looks like, unfortunately, Oklahoma Victory Dolls were able to squeak out 3, if I'm not mistaken. There it is. So the call-off was a little late.
25 to 107, now 6:41 left in the first half.
We got a pivot line start again, so it looks like we're trying to give the jammers a little bit of speed to start.
If I'm not mistaken, that's number 50, Trigger Trixie, out there for Oklahoma.
Against 475, Molly Tov for Sin City Roller Girls.
Molly up at the top of the pack, but Trigger manages to kind of skip around lead jammer.
That was a hard fall on Molly Tov. Looks like she's picking up a low block for that one. Fortunately, sometimes your skates come out, you kick a foot, and that's their low block. So we're gonna have Sin City's jammer in the box for 30 seconds, as long as Trigger can maintain her space on the track, not pick up a penalty. Unfortunately, that happened. Trigger will be following Molly Tov to the box. We have both jammers in the box. Sin City's jammer will be released first.
Trigger, actually, this is her second track cut of the half. She's had 2 track cuts and a forearm penalty since the beginning of the game. Molly back out. She does need to do her initial pass. Sin City right now chanting SCRG, you know, and Molly Tov out and lead jammer.
Looks like there
no,
will be
out, sorry, no lead. Sorry,
Right,
we
there'll
have
be-
lead lost, but she is out and ready to score points now.
2-minute jam, no lead. We got 5 points going up for Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer. Trigger, number 50, as Sin City's jammer Molly Tov is still fighting at the front of that pack against 3 Oklahoma Victory Doll blockers, while 1 Oklahoma blocker is in the box. That House of Skate.net penalty box is sure getting a lot of love. We like to thank our skaters for that.
Yes, of course.
Support.
Well, you know, thank you for supporting what's being a key player in this game. 5 more
Exactly.
points on the board for Oklahoma as Trigger comes back around. Molly's still on her first scoring pass. We've got big hits being handed out here on that blocker line. Menace, though, finally does have to let her go. 4 points for the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls. And we've got 3 seconds ticking down on that clock. Trigger putting up another 4 points. 14 to 4 in that last jam, 121-29, 4 minutes left here in the half. You know, houseofskate.net to that penalty box. You know, we've got these jammers trading in and out, but like I said before, according to my unofficial scribblings, you know, Trigger Trixie sitting on 3 penalties. You know, you've got a big lead now, 121-29, but if you manage to foul out your jammer, you know, the less jammers you have, the less deep your jammer line is, the more likely it is for Sin City to go ahead and put together a comeback. That is number 46, Fatal Inferno in white. She is jamming against number 999, Despicable Mia in black. Sin City losing Amazon Grace to the penalty box for a forearm penalty.
Looks like we had a star stash by the jammer, Despicable Mia, and she's going to be coming around for her scoring pass as the Oklahoma Victory Doll picks up their 4 points, calls it off. That'll be a 4-0 jam in favor of Oklahoma Victory Dolls.
4-0 in that last jam score, now 29-125, 3 minutes left in the first half.
All these teams have really great chants, I found, and funny sayings, as we see on their t-shirts. The things that they come up with in this sport. My goodness.
Right now, Sin City sitting at about roughly 20% of the points. They do need to get that percentage up to maintain their ranking.
Looks like we're going to have lead jammer for Oklahoma Victory Dolls, Emma C. Hammer, as Dislocate is still fighting her way, recycled to the back of the pack. Plays a little D on the Oklahoma jammer. Try to dropping her off into her blockers so she can make a break for it.
D'Lo out and ready to score points. 4 points on, or is that a 5-er? That's a 5-er. We got a 5-er for Emma. Emma playing some defense.
Looks like White's going to pick
Oh.
up the penalty for that one with a forearm. That was
You
close.
know,
There
you
was
got to be
either
careful when you're blocking. She kind of had her arm up
a
there, and then I was worried with the falling that we were going to have a low
low
block
block.
happening.
Yep.
Yep. So that, folks, means it's a power jam. We're going to go to the remaining minute and 7 seconds now. We've got a clockwise block being assessed.
And Emma C. Hammer is really doing a great job picking up penalties out of the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. She's pushing, she's committing to the middle, and the Victory Dolls really have nothing else to do but to stretch and try to make that hit. And sometimes when you're doing that, penalties follow because you're not as calm and working with your team. It looks like they're able to get it together here, recycling her to the back of the pack.
Right, that's Des number 777 at
That
the rear
ends
of
the
the
power
pack.
jam. Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer Emma C. Hammer is coming back into the pack. Looks like we're
Embassy Hammer's skate going out of bounds there as she was knocked to the ground. Good call on her part to not get
Yes.
back up inbounds.
good hit on these, man, these Sin City Roller Girls really hit. They hit hard. So I'm sure the Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammers are feeling it by now, but it looks like they're keeping within their game and still doing a pretty good job.
4 more points for MSC Hammer on the board. Right now, you know, Delo's still having issues with the pack. She does have 5 points, though. 5 to 3 in that last jam. The total washout there. 12 to 10, net gain of 10 for Sin City on that jam. 39-137, 34 seconds left here in the first half. You know, that was a big risk that MSC Hammer took doing the jammer on jammer blocking. She could have just called off the jam with
Right.
the other jammer out way at the beginning there.
Right.
But she did end up going to the box, and we ended up with a net game of 10 for Sin City in that last jam. That's T-Pain, number 14, out there for Oklahoma. She is jamming against number 1776, Bean.
Looks like the Sin City jammer picked up a no pass, no penalty. So she will not be eligible for lead. However, she is hit out. And she recycles back in because the blocker that hit her out also went out with her. So now she is able to put pressure on the Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer, try to get her to call it before she scores all the points. That's not going to happen with that footwork. Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer picking up 4 points to end the half to Sin City 0. That's a good game. That's so far, we're looking at a good game.
39-141 right now, 102-point advantage belonging to the Oklahoma Victory Dolls going into the second half. Not unheard of. I have seen a gap of 140 points bridged in the second and half.
Absolutely.
But Sin City definitely needing to reassemble after being disassembled here in the first half. We are going to take a full 15-minute halftime, folks. Kiki and I are going to go ahead and sign off, and we will be back with some first half stats headed into the second half. Welcome back to our Track One coverage of the 2016 Mayhem Tournament. My name is Ms. Communication,
And I'm Kiki Dickey.
and she's going to be even more excellent than she was in the first half.
Oh my
Ladies and
gosh.
gentlemen, we have a skater making her debut as a broadcast announcer. Score headed into the second half, 39 for the fabulous Sin City Roller Girls, 141 for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. This is our third game of 8 in our championship run out for the belt here at Mayhem. A couple of quick stats from the first half. Your big story from the first half is going to be power jams. Sin City giving up 6 power jams in the first half.
That's rough. That's a rough number.
That's a
in
lot
the
of
first half.
houseofskate.net penalty box.
That's supporting.
5 power jams being given up by the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. So 5 power
Still-
jams for the other team. But here we go with our what happens when you get those power points. Only 14 power points being capitalized on for Sin City. 30 power points for Oklahoma. Oklahoma would be sitting at, maybe possibly a 110 to 39 lead. Of course, we do have, Sin City ranked 93rd in the WFTDA ranking, 65th for Oklahoma. So, we do have quite a split here in rankings for these two teams, and both teams playing to rank presently.
This year has been going good for some of the lower ranking teams to come up and make some waves. So let's see if Sin City can do that again. Ticking away at that lead, we have number 50, Trigger, jamming for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls. And she picks up lead, and it looks like we did have a jammer for the Sin City Roller Girls.
That is
however,
number 521 Dixie Dash.
she did a star stash and pass to her pivot, number 521, who does pick up some points. Picks up 2 points to Oklahoma's 0. That's what we want to see for the rest of the game for Sin City, to really chip away at this lead and get that percentage a bit higher.
4-2 in that last jam. Sin City at 41. Oklahoma Victory Dolls at 145. Sin City lined up here in black and orange at the top here of the pack on the pivot line. Oklahoma in white with black letters. Oklahoma setting up a brace off of the jammer line. That is number 46. Jamming Fatal Inferno for Oklahoma, and number 311 Dislocate for Sin City. Good recycle back by number 3 Brittany Betch. Lo Siento, that's a copper top crush for the ladies in black and orange. Fatal right now at the back of the pack. We've gone 30 seconds now without lead being called. D'Lo getting knocked to the infield. She's forced to reset behind number 9 Coffee Grinder.
Looks like a little jammer on jammer action. Number 46, Fatal, recycling back number 311.
Fatal trying to push it back and force the restart, maybe go for a unicorn. And, D'Lo's not having it.
So the packs at this point should probably start moving to try to get up to that jammer to make the Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer move it. There we go. Unfortunately, Sin City's jammer is going to wait.
Right, she cannot
There we
step
go.
onto the track. Oh, hang on.
So now she's negative pass. She's actually still a negative pass for that. I do believe this could possibly be a unicorn. Let's see what the refs say.
Well, we still have to have, Fatal still has to pass the pack once and get declared lead.
There we go. There's lead. So this could be our unicorn moment. We have 311. Dislocate. Breaking free barely from the pack. Let's see.
D'Lo, though, free on the no
And she
pass. We are
does.
not going to have a unicorn jam.
No.
Fatal Inferno through and picks up 5 points.
And we got 311 approaching the pack.
A full Cinco de Rinco and Dislocate into the pack.
This is still her initial pass, however, because she was negative. But the jammer is going to call it off anyway for a 0-0 jam.
You gotta love the try for the unicorn. It's a very beautiful thing when it happens. We had it happen in our men's game yesterday. Denver Roller
wonderful.
Derby picking up a unicorn against the Sioux City Cornstalkers. 150-41, 26 left in the game. Sin City right now needing to get a few more points on the board to get to that percentage to maintain 36.1 of the points.
Jamming for Oklahoma Victory Dolls, we have number 14,
T-Pain.
T-Pain, and we are going to have number, looks like 999, jamming for Sin City, Despicable Mia. She has the star stashed right now. We have one blocker going to the box for Oklahoma Victory Dolls, as T-Pain is still stuck at the back of the pack. She is lead. She is picking up points.
T-Pain tussling against that wall of black and orange. Her, as Sin City gaining another blocker to go ahead and have that full 4 complement, but not in time to help 4 more points for T-Pain.
We still have Despicable Mia with that star stash, trying to find her pivot or break free. And looks like breaking free was the option. She's going to put that star back on her head, hopefully, so that she can score points. Looks like Oklahoma is looking at their bench coach to see, what do you want me to do? And he says, call it.
9 points for Oklahoma in that last jam. 9-0, 159 to 41 right now. Just sending love notes to my friend Kiki here at the announcer desk. 25:05 left in the game. Sin City down a blocker, Oklahoma down a blocker, so we've got 3-on-3 in the pack. It's going to be 21-20 Emma C. Hammer for Oklahoma, and she will be jamming against Bean, number 1776. Bean getting knocked to the outfield. Both jammers getting knocked to the outfield, forcing the reset. Good job backing up there. Number 421 Sky Kotick backing that up. And recycling the jammer again. That's number 3 Copper Top Crush. Buys enough time. Bean now lead jammer.
Bean coming in for another scoring pass.
Bean breaking
Or a
through.
scoring pass.
Has a fight up at the top of the pack against Dez. She gets through though. And that, folks, is a full 5 points for Bean Jammin' Freakland, as Emma C. Hammer has broken free.
Bean's going to call it off before Oklahoma can score any points.
2 total points on that last pass for her. 7-0 in that jam in favor of Sin City. 48-159. 23:47 left in the game. We are back to the action on the track. That's number 50. Trigger Trixie, lead jammer for Oklahoma. She's jamming against number 475, Molotov.
Looks like the ref's calling no pack, but the blockers continue to block, so a couple people will be going to the box for that.
Molotov out and ready to score. 4 points for Trigger. She goes ahead and keeps the jam clock running. This did not work well for Emma C. Hammer last half. But we're working pretty okay,
Trigger slowing the Sin City jammer down to approach her wall. She calls it.
Big hit there at the end by Molotov. We've got 3-3 in that last pass.
That was a big hit. Looks like she'll be going to the box for that.
For anyone out there in listening land who knows miscommunication's thing that she usually nails people on is looks like. And so I think actually right now in the announcer bingo, you know, you've marked looks like category about 70 times. 51-166 jam in play. And we have a low block being assessed to number 46. That's Fatal Inferno, and out in front and lead, that is number 311, Dislocate or Delo.
A great offensive hit.
3-2 defensive advantage belonging to Sin City. That's 151 Jack Sparrow. Jack's up there trying to break up and play some defense. We stretch out that bridge, and that's 5 power points now for Sin City. power jam comes to a close for Sin City, but D'Lo already in the pack scoring points, and Fatal still needing to complete her initial pass, so we're going to see that jam clock keep running.
Fatal taking a hard hit to the outside. I think that's Copper Top that has been doing some amazing offensive and defensive hits alongside 762 and the rest of her blockers.
521 Dixie Dash playing defense and offense there, but we do have Fatal Inferno out. And call it from the bench. So D'Lo does. That's 5 additional points, 10 big points in that last jam. 1 point for number 46. Oh, no, not a single point for number 46. 10-0 in that last jam, 61 to 166.
It's a great jam for Sin City.
105 points there. Everybody back against the jammer line, lining it up. 61-166. We've got a timeout.
Team
being
timeout
called
by Oklahoma.
By Oklahoma, you'll see the little trapezoid
look at that.
blinking down underneath our scores here. We'll just go ahead and go over this right now since this is our second time out of the game. Down at the bottom underneath both teams, you'll see 3 trapezoids. Those are the 3 team timeouts. You'll see Sin City has already used one of their timeouts, so one of their trapezoids is light pink. That hot pink parallelogram is the official review. Now, teams, of course, getting 1 official review per half. If they are granted that official review, they get to retain it once, and then they will lose it. It's not like wishing for more wishes. You don't just get to keep winning your official reviews in roller derby. Yes, you're looking at me funny because there was maybe a little bit of a mishap in a game that we called earlier this weekend.
Yes, there's a lot of changing constantly about the rules, so it can get very confusing for players and coaches to have to meld around these, let alone the announcers, to have to learn all the rules and verbal cues.
That team timeout has been called back into play. Oklahoma just, saying, hey guys, hey, put it together. They've been lead, yes, we gave up a power jam, yes. But here we go, we've got on the line and out in front, that's 28, Lethal Lamb. She is lead jammer for Oklahoma. Stashing the star, now that's number 999, Despicable Mia. Mia handing off the star to her team's pivot, numero 521, that's Dixie Dash taking the pivot. We've got 4 points, though, on the board for Lethal Lamb. Lethal Lamb, a key relief jammer for Oklahoma. Oklahoma mainly running 3-4 jammer rotation, but Lethal Lamb kind of comes in there to reset that 4 jammer rotation for us. All right, jam is back in play, 61-170, 19 on the clock. That is number 14, T-Pain for Oklahoma, and number 1776, Bean for Sin City. Bean on the outside and round, lead jammer for Sin City.
As T-Pain takes the inside and meets Bean at the front of the pack. Now we got, again, some jammer on jammer action. T-Pain has been doing this quite well all game, slowing down the opposing jammer, controlling her speed to drop her off to her pack, or as we just saw, force a call off. That's good strategy, that's good work, that's including your jammer into that blocking group, into the plan. And a lot of teams learn how to do that as they get their strategy down a little bit better, and it's nice to see that by Oklahoma right now.
0-0 on that last jam, score remains the same. 61-170, 18 minutes left in the half.
We got full packs set up here on the line, and jamming for Oklahoma is a numberless jammer.
MSC Hammer, number
MSC
2120, and she is up against number 475, Molly Toff.
We got some good blocking at the back by Oklahoma Victory Dolls, really holding back Molly Tov, but that footwork on the outside is able to get Molly Tov through the pack, not lead jammer, but now she has to put pressure on that Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer to try to call it off. And it looks like Oklahoma is looking at their bench. Bench says, indeed, call it off. That'll end the jam at a 0-0. That's the second jam now that's been 0-0. Looks like Sin City has changed a little bit of their strategy, calming some things down and stopping the bleeding if necessary.
I'm getting the rules now. You asked me about a rule, so I'm getting it.
Rules are hard.
No, they're not hard.
Oh, they are.
They're easier if you read your rule book, but it's been a while since I've read my rule book. Oops.
Just got to be around a ref a lot. They'll answer questions.
I haven't found one as cute as yours.
Oh.
61-174 right now, and out in front and lead, that is a Trigger, number 50, jamming against, a Sin City jammer who is in the box. That is number 311, Dislocate.
Looks like Dislocate may have picked up a penalty late in that last jam.
5 points on the board, power points for Oklahoma. That houseofskate.net penalty box being a great team member for Oklahoma right now.
Oklahoma doing a good job splitting up the Sin City defense as their jammer approaches. Unfortunately, their Oklahoma jammer chose the inside.
So
Got her
Oklahoma
knocked out, called off the jam for a 5-0. We're going to start the next jam in a power jam with Sin City's jammer standing, number 311, Dislocate. So she'll be entering the pack in under 10 seconds. And it looks like the power jam jammer for Oklahoma is number 46, Fatal. She cuts through the pack as she is joined again by number 311 from Sin City, Dislocate. She's pushing at the front of the pack. Fatal has picked up lead and is approaching for her scoring pass. Fatal has got the Oklahoma girls spread out pretty good and out of play to pick up not lead, but start putting pressure on that Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer. They don't seem to be running it, so she is going to call it. That ends the jam at 2-0 in favor of Oklahoma.
It is a rules clarification on that official review, which means that I would have to look through all the WFTDA rules clarifications to find it. Because the rule book officially has not been changed to include the only get to keep one, so therefore I can't look up if we're keeping infinity right now.
Right.
So, 61-181 right now. That's number 28, Lethal Lamb, out there for Oklahoma. She is lead jammer. Dislocate. Molotov was out and ready to score, but not lead. So she goes ahead and calls off the jam.
Looks like 999 for fabulous Sin City Roller Girls. Despicable Mia will be sitting in the box to start this next jam. She will be joined by number 77, an Oklahoma Victory Doll. I would say dispense her. They're probably missing a 7 on her arm from here. So we're going to start this jam with a 3-and-3 pack. 2 jammers on the track. Little jammer on jammer action to start.
That's going to be Molotov again, a second jam in a row for her, for Sin City, and she is skating against number 2120, MSC Hammer. Molotov holding her face yet again. She's been holding her face a lot when she jams. Must be a nervous tick. Declared not lead, out and ready to score. MSC Hammer getting recycled to the back of the pack. She said, nah, I'm not going to play that.
She picks up her 2 points, calls it off, doesn't
Would
risk
you
any
say
more points.
that would be a too legit, too quit
That
jam?
was a too legit, too quit jam.
Yes, 183-61, 13 left in the half. There we go. I've got my obligatory MC Hammer joke out of the way.
There you go. There you
Yes.
go.
Yes. So I've done a congratulations to Molotov because you can play it as a Mazel Tov. So now we have to make a bomb reference for her, and then we'll be done making the standard announcer jokes for this game. We've got. All right, so Coach, that is Coach, I have his name, Coach Shooter Strychnine for Oklahoma out in the center. He was asking for a rules clarification. It has now changed into an official review.
And here is this official review, parallelogram blinking.
That's the shape that it is.
It is a parallelogram. I have not heard that word since, I don't know, middle school.
Well, you know, when you're trying to explain what someone is looking at on a screen, you want to use the corresponding geometric shape for
Agreed.
the one that is blinking on the screen. It is hot pink. It's funny that official reviews are hot pink.
Well, there's no better color sometimes than the color of our NSOs usually. However, I found this tournament, their official NSO shirt is black, which is different than I'm used to seeing with a pink
And the
shirt.
pinks. I actually prefer black, although both of them look relatively awful when they've been washed too many times.
Yes. The Pepto-Bismol pink can be a little
And then like
different.
the grayish black.
The grayish
Yeah,
black gets
yeah.
bad. But I do like the pinks because they're easy to spot. So I know who's officiating and who to talk to if needed. That is one thing I do like about the color.
That is rather nice. All right, folks, we are presently in a runoff for the women's belt. Coming up next after this game, we have the the round to run off the quarterfinal or semifinal game, sorry, to run off for the man belt. So
Man
right now we're
belt.
playing for woman belt. Next game we've got man belt. You're going to see Denver Roller Derby's ground control against Bisman's Bombers
I
with a
like
Z.
that. Yes.
That is the next game coming up here on this track. And today, I've been calling all man derby all weekend.
I love
And
man
today,
derby.
actually, I will. Thank you so much to Dave Vinci. Kiki's looking at me lost. You don't speak referees just yet.
I just didn't hear. He came, but it was a drive-by explanation.
So the Oklahoma Victory Dolls were asking for a track cut to be called on Sin City's Jammer.
Okay.
Yes, so we got it twice.
That's information.
That's like a lot of communication there, and I love communication. Oklahoma was asking for a track cut on Sin City's Jammer. The no call will stand, and they will not retain their official review.
Looks like we have Fatal, number 46, jamming for Oklahoma Victory Dolls, quickly going to the box for a cut track.
And that's 311 Dislocate. She is lead jammer. We've got a track cut being sent out. I apologize. Sin City was asking for a track cut on Oklahoma.
Right.
And they do not retain their official review. But then Oklahoma went ahead and acquiesced and gave them a track cut.
Gave it to him because sometimes you gotta oblige. And Sin City says, maybe we were wrong. Let's just go ahead and sure it up here. So they're gonna go to the box.
For a track cut.
And it looks like Fatal's gonna come back in, number 46, jamming for Oklahoma. As Oklahoma blockers are set up for some good offense. They're gonna come in, Fatal's gonna try to take it, and she does. That inside line was wide open for her. She's not gonna pick up lead because she was in the box. This will be a 2-minute jam. And that was her initial pass. So now she's coming in to score. Doesn't look like they're set up quite the same way. They were a little bit scattered, which doesn't seem to bother them too much as she comes through for 5 more points.
5 power points there as D'Lo back in from the House Escape penalty box.
She's stuck at the front of the pack with all 4 Victory Doll blockers, but manages to get through with some awesome footwork on the inside. She's going to pick up a penalty on that person who is
So-
going to the box for a low block.
5-4 in that last pass in favor of D'Lo. D'Lo probably retaining her jammer lap point from when Fatal went to the penalty box.
Yes.
4 more points for D'Lo. 9 points
Okay.
total right now. 9-9 for both of these teams as Fatal's going to break free from the pack and put up.
Black 3 will be going to the box as the pivot for a counter. And I believe that's her second or third for this game. And it seems to all be on that apex. That's the hardest place to get those lateral lines going and not go backwards on the track, which is what they're talking about. She actually made some steps backwards on the track and successfully blocked somebody doing so, which is not allowed.
13-13, evensies in that last jam. 1 power jam given up for each team. 13-13, we've got a score of 74-196. The gap remains the same, 10:42 left in the game.
And again, we're seeing some defense off the line by Oklahoma Victory Dolls jammer. until it looks like the jammer's secured and she can make a break for it herself.
That's number 50, Trigger, out and lead for Oklahoma. She's skating against number 1776, Bean Gemmin Freakland.
As Sin City gets together to approach for that scoring pass, but Trigger's able to use that inside line and just get through effortlessly. I can't even say the word. It was so simple.
4-0 in that last jam. Oklahoma Victory Dolls breaking that 2-century mark, 200 to 74, 10 minutes left in the game.
Looks like Sin City is going to start with one blocker in the box. That's their pivot, who went to the box last jam for low block. 4 for Oklahoma Victory Dolls. Looks like one setup for offense, 2 in a triangle, as the jammer kind of funnels her into the space rather than playing some D. We got one Oklahoma Victory Doll at the front trying to get some offense. That works. Breaks their jammer free for lead. The jammer holds on a second to play some jammer on jammer defense to try to get the opposing jammer recycled back into the box or slowed down.
Yeah, that's 21-20 MSC Hammer, and responding with the juke there, it's 475 Molotov.
That was good jammer on jammer strategy right there, trying to slow down the Sin City jammer.
So at what point do you decide as a jammer, Kiki? I know that you are an experienced jammer playing on several Division I and Division II teams.
Yes, I like to move around.
You do like to move around. It's fine. I get bored sometimes too, and
Yeah.
I have to listen to my gypsy heart.
Right?
So when do you decide to switch over from playing defense as a jammer against another jammer?
It depends on what your team strategy is. If you're trying to recycle that jammer into the pack, I would say you do it the second it's not working. If you're just trying to slow her down, it might be your team strategy to do it all the way till you get to the pack.
That's a 999 Despicable Mia picking up a back block penalty for Sin City, and out in front, T-Pain, lead jammer.
Oklahoma is down a blocker, so let's see if they can pull off their offense with only 3. Doing the same offense, we see them lining up on the inside line and attacking one side of that wall. Jammer wasn't able to take it, but they are trying to split that pack.
T-Pain, great line advantage there. We do have Despicable Mia on her feet in the penalty box. Sin City losing a blocker, likely to a clockwise block or multiplayer situation there. And they do have to let her go. That's 5 power points right there at the end of the power jam. Despicable Mia exits the penalty box and has her cap in hand right now for that pass. T-Pain, though, up at the top of the pack. She goes ahead and gets through.
Black's pivot's going to go to the box for a low block. Unfortunately, now that jammer has to put that cap back on and keep pushing. The star is still off, unfortunately. She's gotten around.
Mia finishing her initial pass now, ready to score. So she can go ahead and put that cap back on and become an active jammer, but we've got another 4 points for Oklahoma. We're going to see the jam get called.
Mia was looking for that star pass, and her blocker, her pivot went to the box, and that's what's really unfortunate about those penalties is when your jammer's in trouble and looking for you and you're in the box, it's not going to help.
13-0, 2:13:74, 7 minutes left here in the game.
Worst case scenario is your pivot goes to the box as the jammer. That's not
after
fun.
There's been a legal pass there.
Sure, that hurts. That hurts
But
a team. That hurts the pivot.
We can field another pivot, though, in the next jam, as
Yes.
she is now the jammer in
Yes,
the
you
box.
can.
That is number 50, Trigger. Trixie, she is lead for Oklahoma, and she is jamming against number 311, Dislocate, D-Lo.
Looks like Dislocate's recycled to the back of the pack, forced to replay all those Oklahoma blockers again, doing the same thing to the inside next, as we got Oklahoma's Trigger jammer coming up, working with her offense, getting through the pack, picking up her 5 points. Just as the number 311 for Sin City gets a cut track to the box. Now they will have no jammer. This is a power jam for Oklahoma Victory Dolls. Not a good situation for Sin City. However, it looks like now Trigger will be joining the Sin City jammer in the box.
Did you see she kind of grabbed her elbow like that was a forearm?
She did, and then she put her hands up and said, "It's okay, I get it. Sometimes you got to check yourself. You're in the middle of a sport, you're frustrated, everything's on the floor, and the last thing you want to hear is a ref looking at you saying you did something wrong."
Right, and also putting your arms out like that, trying to look like, hey, I'm in the middle, I know I'm not going to touch the pack when I leave.
Right.
D-Lo being released now.
She did good, reined herself in. She's standing in the box now. She's ready to make her come back, get back in here, get all the points.
Dislocate, stashing the star now. She's got it in hand, hoping to get through the pack here.
Taking all big hits from Oklahoma Victory Dolls. Oh my, hit to the outside, recycled. She's also going to be picking up a forearm for that, unfortunately. She's still got her jammer star in the hand. She'll put that back on before she goes into the box.
And she's actually being told to take a lap. She was beyond, she was past the
Yep.
point of no return.
And it looks like Trigger picks up another cut on the outside.
Oh my goodness, and we are going to start this next jam with both jammers in the penalty box.
Again with the confusion arms. What happened? It's hard to feel it sometimes, but that wheel can come right outside that rope, just a smidge, just enough. And those refs, that's what they're there for. You got 3 eyeballs on you. He picked up that outside cut. She went around a couple blockers. She'll now join the other jammer in the box. This will be a quick start. Both jammers will be
Right.
released very quickly.
So first D'Lo will be released after 10 seconds. So we'll have 10 seconds because both of the jammers got to the penalty box at the exact same time. There will be 10 seconds, and both will be released.
We got D'Lo and Trigger. D'Lo for Sin City Roller Girls and Trigger for Oklahoma. We got a good front four wall by Sin City with a brace, evading that offense. And Oklahoma fighting to keep control of number 311, Sin City's jammer in the back. She is a pusher. She is hard to stop. You can see it in their face. They're putting everything out there to try to stop her. She's taking that star off, looking for her pivot for a potential pass.
That's a dislocate in the pack.
Looks like the pass was not successful. She got an illegal procedure. She's going to the box for an illegal star pass, excuse me. She will retain the jammer status, sit in the box. So usually that happens when the jammer takes the cover off and is trying to pass it and potentially hits somebody else with their arm, creating the pass to be illegal star pass.
Oh. We are going to see something happen here
Oh.
if my scribblings are correct.
She
Yes,
is
that was
fouled.
her 7th jammer penalty, all jammer penalties for D'Lo. We will see D'Lo dismissed from her bench. D'Lo has fouled out. That'll be number 475, Molly Tough, taking the star. Now she will just serve the penalty time. She does not get a penalty.
Correct.
But we will see 311 quit the track and head away from her bench and go to the changing area for Oklahoma. That is number 2120, Emma C. Hammer.
Looks like she almost did the exact same thing Trigger did with that outside foot, carving the outside and just almost cutting, but she was passed and hit out. So she actually got her lead and then was recycled back into the pack. She's now coming in for a scoring pass as the Sin City Roller Girls, Molly Tov, is right behind her to try to sneak in some points as well.
Molly Tough hitting the back of the pack, 5 points up in the air for MSC Hammer. Molly Tough fighting her way through that Oklahoma defense. So Oklahoma locking it down and keeping her in her place. She does have one left to beat, and she is out and ready to score. But MSC Hammer out, 4 points.
And Oklahoma not taking any risks, not going to run the clock out. They're going to call it, start a new jam, get more points on the board, and try to open up the lead more.
On the jammer penalty front, according to my unofficial scribblings, number 50, Trigger, is sitting on at least 5 penalties. I haven't seen if she's played as a blocker to get a blocker penalty in the game. But Trigger also 5 out of the 7 there in some penalty trouble. But we do have a minute 40 remaining
Looks like we
in
have
the
a
game.
team timeout for Black.
Team timeout, for Sin City. It's blinking on the screen there.
It is. I was looking for hand signals.
Yeah, calling with a monitor is fabulous,
Yeah,
Kiki. I love the monitor.
I like a TV in front of me. Can't be
Well, we
mad.
are Americans.
I just need some popcorn. I recently saw a post of somebody, I believe it was in Australia, in the international aisle for the American section, and it was all candy and pop. So, or soda, as people
Candy
say.
and soda. I say soda.
It's pop. I mean, if
Soda.
you want to be, it's pop.
Soda.
Pop.
Soda. Yeah. 2:43.74 right now. Sin City taking a bit of a timeout. Right now, here, let's take a look at their percentage right now of points. They are sitting on 30.5%. They need to have 36.1% of the points right now to in 1.41 minutes. 1 minute and 41 seconds left in the game. We are going to see Sin City drop a little bit in the rankings percentage because of this, but no problem. Yes, so 31.7 for,
That's the total points.
yes.
And we got Sin City lined up with a braced wall in the front. And we got a 4 square wall in the back by Oklahoma Victory Dolls. We got their relief jammer out, who has been doing a good job. She's got very fast feet.
Lethal Lamb, yeah.
Her blocker Scar in there to do a little bit of offense. And then they actually, whoops, lost a blocker. Number 8 to the penalty box.
Whoopsie daisy headed to the penalty box. That's 999 Despicable Mia for Sin City, but big hit there to the inside, and Despicable Mia is going to pick up a track cut.
Sin City's jammer will be going to the box for that track cut. So let's see what Lethal Llama, number 28 for the Oklahoma Victory Dolls, can do with only one blocker on the floor right now to help her out. That blocker's just going to stand there and hope that the pack gets spread out. Looks like it's working for a moment.
And Lethal Lamb out, another 5.
Lethal Lamb. I said
out.
Llama. That is
yes,
another skater.
Yes, because we have a friend.
We do.
Named Lethal Llama, yes. Lethal Lamb out with 5 points. You can remember that lambs wear hockey helmets.
Oh.
I don't know why lambs would wear hockey helmets, but that's how I remember that she is not a llama.
They don't have horns to protect
Right,
their head.
Lethal Lamb out there. We've got 50 seconds on the jam, 29 seconds on the period clock. This is going to be our last jam of the game. Lethal Lamb being recycled to the back of the pack. Despicable Mia out and on her initial pass. And she goes ahead and breaks free, ready to score. She didn't have a no pass, no penalty there, but that's fine.
Just go at this point is your option. Go and get points.
Oh, hit there. But that was a number 85 E-Bomb laying it out. 5 more points for White. And that, folks, is the end of the jam. 1 more point for Sin City. Our unofficial final now, 75-53 for Oklahoma. Oklahoma's Victory Dolls victorious.
Victorious.
They will go ahead and advance. Advance against the winner of the Northwest Arkansas and Leeds game. So Oklahoma headed to the quarterfinal. Now, so this is a really brutal championship Sunday for us. You start out with 8. We're playing a total of 4 games. We start out with 8 teams. They're going to go down to the 4. And how it used to work is that instead of all these consolation games that we have today, we used to actually force the loser of the quarterfinal, both losers of the quarterfinals, to go back to back to play the 3rd place game.
Which is exhausting.
We no longer have a 3rd place game. We go ahead and decide 3rd place by points allowed.
Thank goodness.
The 2 losers for the quarterfinal here. Points allowed against them in the quarterfinal will determine 3rd and 4th place. And then, of course, that quarterfinal game will then lead into our championship game for the belt at 6 p.m. local time tonight here in Colorado. But we are going to actually see our semifinal man game
for
the man belt.
I love man derby.
I do love men's roller derby. And that's going to be ground control. Denver's ground control against Bisman's Bombers.
This is going to be a good game.
Track 1. It
Heavy
is
hits. Big hits,
the
big
Bombers
jumps.
actually coming in and surprising us. They were seeded 3rd. Now they are seeded 2nd coming into.
I feel that this is going to be a great game. This is the size of the hits that you get from the men it's not as much strategy, but big hits. So it's fun to watch.
Yes. So we are going to watch the men's derby here on track 1. We're going to sign off from Oklahoma and Sin City. Again, I am Ms. Communication.
And I am Kiki Dickey.
And we will talk at you later.